Welcome to episode 1 of Smooth Brain EDH. For this first game, Logan wins the die roll. Now let's check out the hands. Logan mulligans to 6 with his Mogis God of Slaughter deck. He keeps a hand of Canyon Slough, Reliquary Tower, Thran Dynamo, Dockside Extortionist, Spiteful Visions, and Spell Shock. He bottoms Erebos God of the Dead. Justin, who is playing a Gyruda combo deck, keeps a hand of Castle Lochthwain, Demonic Tutor, Drown in the Loch, Fabricate, Morphic Pool, Wall of Stolen Identity, and Reanimate. Cody is playing a Godo mono red combo beatdown style deck, and he keeps a hand of 2 Mountains, Argentum Armor, Balefire Dragon, Colossus Hammer, Seething Song, and Simian Spirit Guide. And last but not least is Tyler, who is playing a crazy fast Bralllin and Shabraz combo deck. He keeps his 7 of Cephalid Coliseum, Chrome Mox, Talisman of Progress, Cyclonic Rift, Force of Negation, Mana Crypt, and Savine's Reclamation. Let's get started. Logan starts off the game by drawing and playing a Canyon Slough tapped and passes. Tyler plays the Cephalid Coliseum and then for free casts Mana Crypt, paying 2 mana with the Mana Crypt to play Talisman of Progress. Justin plays a tapped Castle Lochthwain and passes. And on Cody's turn, Tyler makes a crazy prediction.
I bet you'll play a mountain.
After being absolutely called out, Cody plays his Colossus Hammer and passes. Logan untaps, plays a Reliquary Tower, and also passes. On his upkeep, Tyler saves his Mana Crypt trigger, then he plays Chrome Mox and imprints Dispel. With all this mana, he casts a turn 2 Shabraz and then passes. Justin untaps, plays a Morphic Pool, and for 2 mana, plays a Demonic Tutor, tutoring up a Mana Crypt and playing it. He then taps his Mana Crypt to cast his own Talisman, looking similar to Tyler's turn 1. On his turn, Cody plays a Mountain and casts an Expedition map. After this, he passes to Logan, who uses his 2 mana to cast Dockside Extortionist. He gets 7 treasures, and with all this mana, he strings together Thran Dynamo, Wishclaw Talisman, and Spell Shock. A very productive turn.
What does that one do?
Whenever you cast a spell, take 2 damage. From there, I'll pass.
Okay.
I got a hammer.
Tyler loses his Mana Crypt trigger, but gains a life and puts a 1/1 counter on Shabraz after drawing a card. He decides it's in his best interest to swing the Flying Shark at the man who just jumped his hand. He passes and Justin takes 3 from his Mana Crypt trigger. Justin taps for 3 and casts a Fabricate, taking 2 off Spell Shock and finding a Mirror Gallery from his deck. After shuffling his deck, he passes his turn. Cody begins his turn with a Pyretic Ritual into a Seething Song. With his extra mana, he cracks Expedition Map and finds a Cavern of Souls and plays it for turn, naming Human. He exiles a Simian Spirit Guide and casts an uncounterable Godo, and finds a Helm of the Host to the battlefield with his Enter the Battlefield trigger. He takes 6 damage from Spell Shock triggers and passes the turn with his combo on board. Logan plays a land, searches with Wishclaw Talisman that he gives to Cody, and then overloads a Vandal Blast. Tyler, who only has 2 non-artifact permanents, hard casts Force of Negation and takes 1 damage from his Talisman. And they both take 2 damage to Spell Shock. Logan passes his turn, and on Tyler's upkeep, Justin fetches with his Bloodstained Mire, finding an Underground Sea. After drawing, Tyler gains another life, and Shabraz gets another counter. Shabraz swings at Logan for 5. He is now at 9 commander damage. Justin untaps, and loses his Mana Crypt trigger, taking 3. He then plays a Castle Vantress, and taps his mana to cast a Wall of Stolen Identity, copying Dockside Extortionist. He takes 2 from Spell Shock and makes 7 treasures. Justin then taps for 3 and uses 2 treasures to cast a Mirror Gallery. A Spell Shock trigger is missed. Justin passes and Cody untaps, plays a land, and then goes to equip Helm of the Host to Godo. But before combat, Tyler taps and casts Cyclonic Rift, targeting Helm of the Host. Tyler takes 2 from Spell Shock and then 6 from Godo, attacking twice. Cody passes, and on his turn, Logan untaps, draws. He then plays a Swamp, and then taps out for Spiteful Visions, taking 2 to Spell Shock. Tyler takes 3 to his Mana Crypt trigger, draws 2 off Logan's Spiteful Visions, and doesn't gain any, but he does put 2 more counters on Shabraz. After that, he casts Cursed Totem. He takes 2 from Spell Shock, and then swiftly swings the Shark at Logan, who is now at 16 commander damage. Justin loses his Mana Crypt trigger and takes 2 to Spiteful Visions. He then casts Panharmonicon and uses up all his treasures to cast Gyruda. Luckily for the table, Tyler had a mana drain.
Oh, wait. Well, yeah, no, my Cursed Totem doesn't drop it. Oh, you beautiful bastard.
Justin responds with Adrenaline Lock, but luckily Tyler also has a Swan Song. Justin takes 6 damage and Tyler 4 to Spell Shock, and then Tyler takes an extra 1 to his Talisman. Justin passes, and on Cody's turn, he plays an Ancient Tomb, and then searches with Wishclaw Talisman, giving it back to Logan. He then recasts Helm of the Host, and then casts Magnetic Theft, attaching Helm of the Host to Godo. After seeing the combo, with no responses, the rest of the board concedes. Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions for us in the future, feel free to leave a comment. See you next time.